Hello and welcome to the BetHelper betting preview. The game we're going to be looking at now is the Slovakia versus Italy game, scheduled for Thursday, 24th of June at 3 p.m. So it's the final group or final game in Group F here. And the other game, Paraguay New Zealand, is also kicking off at the same time. This one is scheduled for Johannesburg, so it's going to be at altitude. Looking at the Asian handicap markets, the handicap here is Slovakia +1, Italy -1. Slovakia are actually drifting at this handicap, so it might actually get bumped up to 1.25. Obviously, then Italy are shortening at the -1 handicap. Looking at the unders and overs market, the handicap here is 2.25, so they're expecting 2 goals in Asia, not 3. But it is shortening, so we might actually see that handicap getting changed to 2.5. So we'll have to monitor the market movements then if it does. Looking at the betting exchanges, they got Slovakia flat at 7.6. Italy slightly drifting at 1.55, drifted slightly from 1.54. The draw comes in then flat at 4.4. Looking at the overs and unders market, the over 2.5 goal market is shortening slightly. It's at 2.3 in from 2.32, so there is a bit of support for there. Still, obviously, the unders taking the advantage here. Looking at the percentages matched, there's only about 250,000 matched at the moment. Obviously, again, this will, like we've seen in other games, this will explode in the next 24 hours, so we'll have to wait until then to decide what we're going to do. But even still, you can see that Italy have a clear advantage. They got 82% of the bets matched at the betting exchanges. The draw comes in at 13%, and that's shortening. And Slovakia only accounts for 5% of the match bets there. And the unders and overs market, the overs comes in at 5.7 or 57%. Sorry, it's down slightly from 62%, but again, there's very little liquidity on the markets at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see until tomorrow to get a better picture of the market makeup. Looking at the bookmakers, they've Slovakia flat at 6.5. Looking at Italy, they've Italy flat at 1.53, and they've the draw flat at 4.2. And the unders and overs market, they have that flat at 2.1. Looking at the form, Slovakia have pretty terrible form. They've only 1 win in their last 6 games. They've 2 draws and 3 losses in that. They drew their opening game against New Zealand 1-1, and then they lost their second game to Paraguay 2-0. So they weren't great shakes there in this group, despite a bit of expectancy for them to sneak through into the second place. Looking at Italy's form, it's also terrible. They've only 1 win in their last 6 games. They've 4 draws in there. They've drawn their first 2 games, both 1-1. The last time out against New Zealand, which was a bit of a shock for many. People thought that New Zealand were lucky to get a draw against Slovakia, but I think they definitely were against Italy, and definitely on paper you wouldn't have given them any shot in hell. So Italy kind of struggling to get goals. Looking at the head-to-head, they've had one previous meeting. It came in 1998. Italy ran out 3-0 winners on that occasion. So we'll see if that holds up again. Looking at some streaks, the last 4 goals conceded by Italy have come from set pieces. You would have expected Italy's defending from set pieces to be very good, but it seems to be a weak spot at the moment. I think their defence isn't as good as it used to be. So we'll have to see if they can hold out against Slovakia. Slovakia have only 3 shots on target in the whole competition, so that's not a very good strike rate there. They've obviously only scored 1 goal so far, so we'll have to see if they can actually score in this one. Italy have only conceded 2 shots on target, and both of those have actually resulted in goals. So maybe if Slovakia can manage a shot on target, they might actually score in this one. Italy have scored 11 of the last 16 World Cup games from set pieces. Or sorry, their 11 of the last 16 World Cup goals have been from set pieces. So they conceding from set pieces, and their scoring from set pieces seems to be a recurring trend for them. So again, set pieces will be a very important factor in this game. 1974 is the last time that Italy actually failed to get out of their group stage. So they've a very good track record of progressing through the group stages and into the knockout rounds. So it doesn't look like that that might be in doubt this time out. 3 of Italy's last 4 games have ended 1-1. Their last 2 in this World Cup have ended 1-1. So there is something to look at there. In terms of rankings, Slovakia are 34th according to FIFA, while they come in at 48 according to the ELO rankings. So not the best of form there for Slovakia. Meanwhile, then Italy are 5th on the FIFA rankings, while they come in at 6th on the ELO rankings. So still ranking quite highly despite a pretty poor recent form. The referee for this one is Howard Webb. He's from England. He's ref 61 international games. He's given 248 yellow cards, giving him an average of 4.07 yellows per game. That's a bit higher than the average we've seen at this World Cup, which is about 3.5. He's given 10 red cards, which gives him an average of 0.16 reds per game. He's got 14 penalties in those 61 games, giving an average of 0.23 penalties per game. He actually reffed the Spain-Switzerland game, which obviously was the shock result of the World Cup so far, with the 1-0 win for Switzerland. He gave 4 yellows in that game, 4 yellows going to Switzerland, which is no surprise really given the technical abilities of the Spanish players. So he's kind of fitting in with his form there. Looking at the injuries, Pirlo and Buffon look set to miss out. So does Škrtel for Slovakia. Looking at the goals scored in qualifying, Slovakia have an average of 2.2 goals scored per game, while they exceeded an average of 1 goal per game. Italy then, on the other hand, have an average of 1.8 goals per game scored, while they exceeded an average of 0.7 goals per game, so good at the back. So far in this World Cup, Italy have scored 2 and conceded 2, and Slovakia have scored 1, conceded 3. So it'll be a pretty tight game again, you would have to imagine. Looking at the probabilities, the computer probabilities for Slovakia, they come at 15%, so not much of a chance there. Looking at the probabilities for Italy, comes in at 66%. So they're heavy favourites in this one, and the draw comes in at 19%. Then looking at the implied probabilities based on the bookmakers odds, gives Slovakia a 12% chance, so that's very low as well, just like it is based on the computer probabilities. Italy come in at 65%, so that's about bang on really, with 66% on the computer probabilities, and the draw comes in at 23%, so that's a bit higher than the computer probabilities. Having a look at some suggestions, some markets to look out for. We're going to have to monitor the Asian handicap market, where Italy look like they're shortening, giving up 1 goal. We'll have to monitor to see if that changes to giving up 1.25 goals. The unders and overs, we're going to be looking at the over 2 goal market, and the referee doesn't look like he's going to give any reds or penalties in this game just by his stats. Might have to look at yellows, with Slovakia getting more yellows than Italy. But again, we'll have to see closer to kickoff when we actually see the teams. So check out twitter.com/BetHelper to get tomorrow's updated tips and strategies. Leave any comments below and any emails of feedback or suggestions to BetHelper.ie@gmail.com. So thanks for listening, and we look forward to tomorrow's round of games.